everybody, Gisele Grenier here. So I've got my list of questions that have been sent through the website. This one here, I think I know what she's asking for. I want to create a very simple background that's soft but intense. So what I'm thinking is a blended background with intense colors. That's what I'm hoping. So if you're watching, let me know. Okay, so I've got my little book of backgrounds piece, just a piece of packaging. And the colors I'm going to use for this, quinacridone magenta, naphthol red light, pyrrole orange, and Hansa yellow medium. I also have some dazzling metallic splendid gold. Now, this is the Decor Media Fluid Acrylics. If I were to use the Traditions, I would use a Hansa yellow medium, Paranone orange, naphthol red light, and then this I would use a permanent alizarin crimson instead. But they don't make a crimson in the media acrylics. And I've got some gesso because the white that I had dried out. And now I'm only going to work on the one side. If you wanted to make a two-sided artist rating card, matte medium or scuff it up and then some gesso on that. And I'm still going to put gesso on this because this has a bit of a texture to it. All right, so what I'd like to do is do it all with one brush. So I'm just going to dip my bristle brush into the white gesso, and I'm just going to swirl, swirl, swirl. I'm going to push it right into the stock. And normally I could use double-sided tape to hold that down, but the double-sided tape is in the workshop next to the lathe for our pens that we're making, so I can't steal that. All right. Okay, so now I've got some nice, I don't know, you probably can't see that, some nice swirls of gesso. And what I'm going to do now is, while that's just tacking up a little bit, I'm going to put small amount. You don't need a lot. You don't need a lot. I shook everything first, but just to make double sure. Now I'm using the fluid acrylics just to basically experiment because of the consistency. I like using thicker paints when doing this technique. So, oh, can you hear my computer? Sounds like a jet. Sounds like a jet. I'm uploading a 1 hour and 40-minute art lesson that I created about mixed media canvas called If Frida Had a Cow. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to start from the middle, so the middle will be lighter, and it's going to create a gradation, and then I'm going to come back and darken the edges. So it's a very simple background. So I'm going to start with the yellow, and I'm just going to bring that in and paint that all the way outwards. I'm going to grab, whoops, I'm going to grab a little bit of gesso. While that's wet, come back in. See, it immediately softens everything. Now, when you're doing this technique, it's all about the layers. It's all about the layers. And then you let it dry slightly. I mean, you can go all the way to the outside edge. You don't have to. Just that the colors are semi-transparent, so everything that you're painting is going to show through all the layers. Okay, so I'm going to hit that with a heat gun. Hair dryer is fine. Doesn't take long. My brush. Okay, no, that didn't come too clean. I'm going to go back with the gesso. Start in the middle. The brush needs to be damp. And you'll see what I mean about all the color, the yellow showing through. And just going to distribute that around. So you can still see that it's yellow. See how soft that is? Okay. I'm going to dry that again. This background is so easy to do, and ideally, if you can do it in batches, like do 50 of them, and as you work through, by the time you get to the end, this will be dry, then you do your thing, then you just, or do one big large sheet. I like doing them individually because they look different. I'm going to go back with a bit more white. Now at this point, I'm going to grab a baby wipe. And I'm just going to soften that a little bit more. Very little paint. And the baby wipe, because it's damp, is going to bring that paint out. Alright, so now this is where I should have actually used more than one brush because I hate cleaning brushes. Now I'm going to grab the orange, Purell Orange, load the brush really well, but I'm going to blot the excess on a paper towel. This is super powerful. Now we're going to come from the outside and work in. Super light touch. Oh, you gotta make sure that's dry. You know what? It's not. Shoot. That's okay. The brush. See, the brush is still is wet. And going out, in, out, in. And depending on how you want the glow, like would you want the glow more focused in the middle? Do you want it, you know, on the side a bit? That's something you're going to have to figure out. See? Actually, that's good just the way it is. But just keep it rough. Okay. Then I'm going to take the same brush. I'm going to dry it first. Take the same brush now, go into Naphtha Red Light, and even a smaller amount, just to show you how much of the paint I'm pulling off. Okay, Naphtha Red Light. And you don't want to add water because these paints are already pretty fluid enough as it is. Now we're going to go outside again. And you want to just see as you're going outside in, see the edge is getting darker and darker and darker. Like here the glow comes out, so I'm going to bring that in a little bit more. You don't want to completely cover everything. And how dramatic, how intense it is, that's, you know, that's just a choice of color. But just make sure that the color is like, it's variegated, like it's around. You don't just go like this and that way you'll have, otherwise you'll have a straight line. My mouth is rented. Sorry about that, you guys. There was a delivery at the door and Mia went bat crazy, so I had to stop filming. The last video I did, I just let her bark, but it was just like the kids were outside making a snowman, but this one here, she was really bad, so I had to stop and go down and check. All right, so I did that. So that was with so I did the Hansi Yellow Medium, then the white, Purell Orange, then Naphtha Red Light, and now make sure that brush, I mean, it's good just the way it is. That's another one, but I want to make that edge a little bit darker. You know what I'm thinking? I think in transparent red iron oxide would have been a little bit better. Now I'm going to load just a speck of that quinacridone magenta because it is so strong. You need to load enough to cancel out the color that's already in the brush. I'm just going to start, just do it very slowly. And be careful not to go too far in. If you know your color theory, pop quiz, why can't I go too far in? What we're doing right now is optical color mixing. Transparent layers of color, and as each layer shows through, it creates a new color. But why can't I go too far in? Look how beautiful that is. I don't know if that's intense enough what you're looking for. The lady that posted that question. I'm gonna go a little bit deeper on that. Just make sure you wipe the excess. I don't know why I brought a stencil out. Not sure why I brought a stencil out. There was a reason. See, I came too far in. So I'm going to try to diffuse that edge a bit. There we go. Yeah, I like that. Just to make it more irregular though with the shape. And heavier on the corners. So is that intense enough for you? That's really pretty. Okay, so basically I'm done. Goodbye. To really boost it up, to make it even more dramatic, I'm gonna try. No. Where's my dirty cosmetic sponge? I'm going to shake the dickens out of this. This is the Splendid Gold. You know what? That's not going to be strong enough. Oh, you should see the mess that I've made here. Holy crap. You know what? I'm going to stick with my original thing. I have to find my wax metallics, because that's what I would have typically used. Way too much paint. So I'm going to load the cosmetic sponge with a lot of that color, then tap the excess off on a clean part, paper towel. Look what I just did. Oh, I'm such a tool bit sometimes. And I'm just going to do the edges. What's nice with this is that you don't have that that raw paper. Isn't that beautiful? Just pushing slightly just to get a nice edge. I couldn't get a fine edge like that with a pencil or with a gold marker. I don't have steady hands like that. I am in awe about some of you guys that create those really fine details. There we go. Where's the camera? So you can see that. There we go. So how's that? I don't know if that's intense enough for you, if that's what you're looking for, but just a really simple way just to get a soft diffuse background with colors that are as intense as you want. The other thing I could try is basically doing the same thing now with yellow, green, and blue. I could do that just to get this as a warm and then a cool. So, but the technique is basically the same. So dry brush to get it started, and make sure, and then if I had not used the gesso, I wouldn't have been able to do it this fast. If I would have used the actual titanium white in the fluid acrylics, it would have taken me much longer because that is so fluid and it's much more transparent. This I can do better dry brushing with. That's why I love using gesso instead of the white when I need to get that opacity, that power. So that's it, you guys. Very simple little book of background. Now what I have to do, I have to put it on the ring. All right, so what color of eyelet should I use? Well, I should use gold. Use gold. And this is how I'm, where's the punch? This is how I'm binding them all. Oh, I went too close to the edge. Where's the thing? Oh, right there. Oh, oh my goodness. And I keep locking it. I hate that. Here we go. And then I will just pop it on the back of, I wonder if I can make that go all the way around. No, of course not. Pop it right in here. And there it is. You just add it to there. All right. So I hope that you enjoyed this little background, and you know, just it's very, very simple. But what to do is let me know, you guys, what if you want to see other variations, if you want them to see like more intense neon colors, vintage colors, or whatever. Just pop it in the comments below. Let me know if you want to see particular color combinations. If you're watching this from YouTube and you do a variation of this project, head to the Facebook group, which is in the description, and post the post your picture over there. If you're in the Facebook group, all right, awesome, awesome. Yeah, but just post a picture and show me what you've done, your versions of this, because what you can do with these now is we've got the background done, and now in the future what we can do is you can stencil, stamp, collage, you can sketch. You can just do a sketch on this, whether it's with a pencil or a black liner. You can just do a sketch, because a simple background like this is just a background. It doesn't take away from the actual focal point of what you're working on. Alrighty, so I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you think, and until I see you next time, stay inspired.